Pigeons count as well as primates. Although many species in the animal kingdom can discern one from many, ordinal numbers have largely been a primate's game. The ability to count has long been associated with chimpanzees and gorillas, but birds have proven to be good with numbers as well. Pigeons can count as well as rhesus monkeys. Pigeons have great eyesight and are extremely easy to train. A team of researchers from New Zealand wanted to find out if these traits could be applied to numbers. They began by teaching the pigeons to count to 3. Using a touchscreen that showed images of 1, 2, and 3 shapes, the pigeons were required to peck at the images in order from smallest to greatest before they received a treat. After mastering the basics, the birds were shown images that contained between 1 and 9 items. Without additional training, the pigeons exhibited an impressive ability to peck at the numerical values in the right order. Mice that surf and skateboard. Shane Wilmot lives on the Gold Coast in Australia, where he and his pet mice spend the summers surfing the waves. As a teenager more than 30 years ago, Wilmot began teaching his pet mice to surf. Inspiration struck while he was visiting the beach with some friends. He noticed the formation of tiny waves near the shore and wished he were small enough to ride them. Then he realized a mouse would be the perfect-sized creature to take advantage of the incredible miniature surfing conditions. Wilmot's training process begins in his bathtub, where his mice learn to balance on the boards. Then the critters progress to Wilmot's backyard pool, where they become accustomed to movement in water by being pulled behind a remote-controlled boat. After the mice have mastered being towed in the pool, they are ready for the beach. During winter, the water is too cold for Wilmot's mice. Instead, they skateboard in the park Wilmot built for them in his backyard. The mice ride down ramps and do impressive tricks, such as jumping through a ring of fire. Dogs that drive cars. Rescue dogs at an animal shelter in New Zealand are surprisingly talented. They learned how to drive a car. The Auckland Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals wanted to show the world that some of their canine residents could be trained to do something incredible. Their goal was to increase adoptions by demonstrating the potential that shelter dogs have. After 8 weeks of preparation, Porter and Monty were able to drive a specially outfitted Mini Countryman. Using the modified car, the dogs are capable of turning the key to start the engine, using their paws to push brake and gas pedals, and steering the wheel. Their success was aired on television in December 2012. Monty, a giant schnauzer, drove down the straight portion of the track entirely on his own. Porter, a bearded collie mix, maneuvered the car around a curve in the track with only a slight swerve onto the grass. The famous rabbit artist. Struggling artists know how hard it is to get paid for their work. But in a tough industry, Beanie, a 6-year-old Holland Lop rabbit, has proven to be a success. Beanie paints by holding a brush in his mouth. He has created over 300 paintings. According to Beanie's website, it takes the rabbit between 40 and 90 minutes to complete a canvas. Beanie's masterpieces are in high demand and sell for up to $300 each. Beanie's talents are not limited to his work on canvas. He is also capable of styling and combing hair, playing arcade games, and shooting hoops. Beanie holds the Guinness World Record for most basketball slam dunks in 1 minute by a rabbit. He set the record with 7 dunks in 2017. Bumblebees that play soccer. A team of biologists at Queen Mary University of London taught bumblebees to play soccer. The researchers led an experiment to see if the insects could learn to move a ball into a target area. The ball was about half the size of the bees. The goal of the experiment was to present the bees with a task they would never encounter in nature and see if they possessed the cognitive abilities required to accomplish it. Team Bumblebee blew the researchers away. The insects learned to successfully score a goal in a variety of ways. Some of the bees figured out how to get the ball into the target area without any demonstration, and some learned by watching the ball move on its own. But the most successful bees observed their peers complete the task first, and then learned to perform the same action more efficiently. The bees' success proved that the insects have flexible cognitive abilities and are capable of complex thought processing. Elephants that landed a record deal. The Thai Elephant Orchestra was created at a conservation center in Thailand that houses retired work animals. Since elephants have been shown to enjoy painting and other artistic endeavors, it was believed that they also might enjoy playing instruments. The founders of the orchestra designed drums, xylophones, and harmonicas that would suit the elephants. They now have 22 modified instruments that are oversized and nearly indestructible. Once the elephants were shown how an instrument worked, they were happy to play it without any additional coaxing, such as reward treats. The music created by the elephants has been compared to that which is heard in Buddhist temples. The orchestra has produced 3 albums. The monkey named Person of the Year. In 2011, British wildlife photographer David Slater was taking pictures of a troop of macaques in Indonesia. One photo, a close-up of a macaque named Naruto, grinning into the camera, became famous. The image was captured by Naruto himself. Slater describes teaching the monkeys to press the shutter on the camera while looking into the lens. Slater's macaque photos, especially Naruto's selfie, were incredibly popular. In 2014, Slater noticed that a blog and Wikipedia were both using the photo without his permission. He asked them to remove the image or pay for it. Both websites refused. Wikipedia argued that Slater did not own the copyright to the photo because the monkey had snapped the shot, not Slater. In 2015, PETA sued Slater on Naruto's behalf, claiming the macaque deserved to be the declared owner of the photograph. It was the first lawsuit that sought to declare a non-human animal as the owner of property. In 2016, a judge ruled against PETA, stating that animals are not covered by the Copyright Act. PETA appealed the ruling, but the case was settled out of court when Slater agreed to donate 25% of any future earnings from Naruto's photo to charities that protect crested macaques. Seeking to recognize Naruto as an individual rather than something, PETA named the macaque Person of the Year in 2017. The published Siamese cat author, Ac H. Hetherington and F.D.C. Willard are the co-authors of an influential academic physics paper. The paper, which explored atomic behavior at different temperatures, was published in Physical Review Letters, a highly respected journal, in 1975. Hetherington wrote the paper himself. However, he used the pronoun we throughout his work, something he did not realize until he had typed everything up. The physics journal would only allow the use of we if the paper had been written by more than one author. Since Hetherington's work had been done on a typewriter, he would have had to redo the entire paper to change we to I. Instead, he decided to add a second author to justify his use of the plural pronoun. Hetherington listed his Siamese cat, Chester, as his co-author. To disguise Chester's feline nature, Hetherington called him F.D.C. Willard. F.D.C. stood for Felis Domesticus Chester, and Willard was the name of Chester's father. The physics journal assumed that Hetherington had authored his paper with one of his colleagues at Michigan State. After the paper was published, the truth about Hetherington's whiskered co-author was revealed. Most people, including Hetherington's colleagues and supervisors, found the incident humorous. Chester's career as a published cat did not end there. F.D.C. Willard was also listed as the sole author of a 1980 paper published in La Recherche, a French science magazine. That's all for today. Thanks for watching and see you next time.